to share how to plan your weekly and yearly sales and marketing activity. They work hand in hand because if you plan it out for the year or just even the quarter, it shapes everything going forward and it helps you to know what you need to do on a daily basis so that you're not just blindly posting, releasing content and blindly, trying to do a sales strategy on the fly. So it helps to shape everything and give you direction, and it just helps things to flow and just helps it to be more clear. Now, as I said, you can do this for the year or you can do it quarterly, but with quarterly, that gives you a chance to gauge everything and look at your performance and to make changes as necessary for the next quarter or even, beforehand and you haven't planned it out for the whole year. But if you feeling yourself like that and you want to plan it for the year, that's fine. You can still go back and review it and make adjustments as needed. So let's get into the yearly or quarterly things that I do to plan out my sales and marketing strategy for the whole year and what I'm suggesting for you guys too. So the first thing that you want to do is write down each month of the year. You can do this electronically or you can do it, in a planner, you can do it in a notepad, a journal, whatever works best for you. I prefer electronic, but whatever works best for you. Jot down each month of the year, and first of all, you want to think about what product or service you want to sell or what you're planning to promote. If you're, doing affiliate marketing, what you're planning to promote. That's going to shape your content and how you set things up as far as your content and your marketing. Let's take that first month, for example. You want to write down what product or service you're planning to sell or what you're planning to promote. Then you want to come up with a theme for that. Like, for instance, for the month of February, my main offer will be a course on building your own theme-based website. And so for February, my theme will be building an online business that you love. From there, you want to use that, as I said, to plan your content. And of course, your content should educate, it should solve your target market's problem, whatever that problem is, that offer and that content that you're creating surrounding that offer, it should solve their problem. And then you should also have content to, of course, promote and sell your product or service. This content will, include your blog, it will include your email marketing, it will include your podcast if you have a podcast, and video content if you use video to teach or to sell your products or services. Also your social media posts, which could include any of these things. Lead magnets, your landing page, and your ads. So you want to write down or bullet point all of these things that I just mentioned, all of these different types of content. And then for each week within that month, you want to plan out what the content that you're going to use that is complementary to that theme and that, is at the core of your offer and solving the problem of your target market. So write down all of the blogs you plan to produce and to publish. Write down all of the topics for your videos, your podcasts. Write out your social media posts. I do, my social media planning with Trello. It makes it so much easier, and then I transfer it to my scheduler, which is Buffer. So write out your ads, your lead magnets, write out your email sales sequence, or at least just start with the topics for those, and from there you'll go, and produce your content. So that is the way that you can set everything up for the quarter or for the year. And as I said, just evaluate your progress and adjust as needed. Now, this also sets you up for planning your weekly activities for your sales and your marketing. Now, for the weekly, I use Trello. I use it for my social to plan out my social media, but I also use a to-do checklist, and it makes it so much easier to move things around, to mark it as done, and it just helps everything flow. So for your weekly plan, you want to write down each day of the week, just as you did for the month. And you want to note down on each of these days, note down the activities that you need to complete each day. You know, it makes it easy, like if you're looking at a day of the week and you see that it's too full and you can adjust that and move it to a different slot, then, you know, it makes it easier to balance things out. Now, some people go even as far as to write down the specific time for each activity on each day of the week, even down to their lunch. At this time, I'm just writing down the activities and I prioritize it as needed on each day. But if you want to go a step further, then write down the time, like plan it down to the time. That's helpful. Even include the weekends, include Monday through Sunday. Because even if you don't if you choose not to work your business on the weekends, or there are other certain days that you block out where you don't work on your business, you still need to include that in your plan, because you even want to be specific about the personal time that you're having. Be specific about if you're using that time for planning, if you're using that time for personal time, if you're using that time to go to the spa. Write it down in your plan and be specific about it, and so you can be intentional about resting and recovering too, because that's important. That's an important part of your business and recharging your mind. You also want to make sure that you include any assignments, any meetings, any deadlines that you have. And a good thing about Trello or any calendar system, if you're not writing it down on paper, is that you can actually put the date in and set reminders for these deadlines within your to-do list and within your plan. That's it. It's as simple as that. You can, you know, make a checklist out of it, and as I said, you can do this whatever way works more convenient for you. So this is the close of my planning series. Most of it has been geared towards business planning, but I wanted to share with you the sales and marketing part of that, because that's a huge part of making that business plan work and do what you projected it to do. I actually have a template for this sales and marketing strategy that I've laid out for you. If you go to danielletowner.com/shop, you can get your hands on this template. It also includes some design templates for your social media posts, which are in Canva. They are custom designs by me, and they're included in this package, in this bundle that comes with the sales and marketing yearly layout for you to plan out your sales and marketing strategy and your content. As I said, go to danielletowner.com/shop. And as always, if you have any questions, post them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thank you guys for watching, and talk to you soon.